Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another video by Aviation Master 100. Today, I'll be looking at the early airliners of the airline industry. So, I finally come out with a civilian aircraft video. Today I'll be talking about the first few airliners the first airliners of the industry. This ought to be pretty interesting. I know most of you guys probably fly on airplanes a lot. I know I do. As far as doing on trips and stuff. So, let's get started with the first airplanes and how this all got started. So I'm sure many of you know the Wright brothers first flew the Wright Flyer at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina in 1903. They had come out with gliders before that and tested gliders, and they put an engine hooked a propeller up to it, and then it flew for 120 feet, and its max speed was 30 miles an hour. So this is the Wright Flyer, and this was the first airplane, or powered aircraft at least. They had been flying gliders and hot air balloons for quite a while before the flight. And so it was kind of an interesting, so it wouldn't work how a normal airplane would work. Usually normal airplanes have control surfaces on the wings, but they actually had to warp the wings in order to make them turn in the elevator, and the rudder back there. And this was Wright Flyer number 3. It was kind of a advanced version of that, basically. And then from there, people started creating home-built flying machines. If you've ever seen the movie Those Magnificent Men and Their Flying Machines, it gives you a pretty good reputation of, some of the airplanes that existed back then. And then from there, aviation just got really popular among everybody. People started, companies formed, and then everyone just got interested. It was kind of, the subject of, it was kind of a trend, basically, kind of back then, when aviation first started. And by the way, I'll do another video in the future about all those home-built airplanes that you just saw right there. So I'll be looking at some of the early airliner and civilian airplanes of the airline industry. So first up on our list, we have a Belanca WB2, as you can see here. This was a very small airplane. And next up, we have a Lockheed Vega, which I'm sure many of you know. Amelia Earhart. This was her airplane of choice. And then next up, we have the Spirit of St. Louis, which actually set a record. Flew across the Atlantic to France or Paris from New York. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I think it was New York. It took him like 32 hours to do so. So as you can imagine, that was a pretty famous airplane, as far as in the record books at that time. Then next up we have, it was a Ryan built Ryan Aircraft Company built the airplane, the NYP, Spirit of St. Louis. And then next up we have, this is a French airplane. I'm gonna try and pronounce this, the Breguet, I'm not really sure. 14T, built in France. And then here we have another one, a Potez 25A2, built in France again. And then this one is kind of an odd-looking aircraft, kind of like a hunchback, sort of, I guess. And then this one is a Airco DH-4A, built in Great Britain. Next up, we have a Junkers F-13, built in Denmark. I'm not really sure, because Junkers was, I guess, because they did build airplanes for the German Air Force. I'm not really sure what the whole deal with that, because I think that was a Denmark, a Denmark company. And then this one is a Sopwith Atlantic, built in Great Britain. Same people who built the very famous Sopwith Camel and all those World War I airplanes. Next up we have, this is another French airplane. This is a Levasseur PL8, built in France. That was kind of a cool looking airplane in my opinion. Next one we have a Boeing 48. Yay, Boeing. I'm a big fan of Boeing. Yes, that was kind of a first for Boeing. And then next up we have a built in USA, Boeing. And then this one is a Fokker, and no, not the cuss word, Fokker, F11, built in the Netherlands. And here we kind of have another hunchback airplane, I guess. Junkers W33, built in Denmark. And then this one is a Douglas World Cruiser, DWC. And this was the first airplane to circle the world. Not nonstop. That was not to be done until many years later with a plane called the Voyager, which I'm sure I'll probably include in a video sometime. And then next up we have a Fokker F11. Wait a minute. Or wait, this is the F111. Sorry, built in the Netherlands. This one we have a seaplane here. I can't 10ER. I'm not really sure where this one was built. I think Ireland. I'm not really sure. I think. And then next up we have a Dornier DO13, built in Denmark. And then next up we have a de Havilland DH10, built in Great Britain. Dornier Comet is kind of a neat airplane. It's definitely not as fast as a Comet, but you know. And then next up we have a Levy Lipen R built in France. It's kind of an odd looking airplane. Next up we have a Focke-Wulf A17. I don't know really why it says D though on there, because I think D is like for Denmark, but all those are German aircraft companies. Those are, I think, Dornier, Focke-Wulf, and I know Messerschmitt were all German companies, but I'm not really sure. You know. Next up we have a Vickers Vimy, built in Great Britain. It's kind of an ugly airplane. And then next up we have another Vickers. This is a Vimy Transatlantic, Great Britain. And then you have a Savoia, I think, S16 TER. Oh, that's Italy. The I is Italy, sorry. That airplane that I said, Ireland, that is Italy. That is not Ireland. Okay, that is Italy. It was built in Italy. I'm sorry about that, guys. And then I have a Farman F60 Goliath, built in France. A Blériot 135, France. It's kind of an ugly, strange-looking airplane. A lot of very strange-looking airplanes on this list. And then this one is a Fokker V11A3M, Netherlands. And then we have a Fokker C2, America, USA. I'm not really sure why that's USA, because Fokker was Netherlands, was Dutch. I'm not really sure what the whole deal behind that is. And then next up we have a Fokker T2, Netherlands. And here we have another very famous airplane built by Ford, which I'm sure many of you know as a car company. And this is a Ford Trimotor, Trans World Airways, TWA. That's what that airline stands for right there. And yeah, built in the USA, so that was kind of an interesting one. It had 3 motors. It had one on each wing and then one on the nose. And next up we have a Junkers G24. And that was kind of a cool looking airplane, and once again it was a tri-motor. Next up we have a Zeppelin Steichen E4-20. We have a Savaya Marchetti S55 flying boat. Then this is a de Havilland DH-66 Hercules, Great Britain. This is a Dornier DOJ Wall Hanley Page W8B, Great Britain. Armstrong Whitworth Argosy, Great Britain. Sorry guys, we're almost done. I know my voice is probably getting boring. This is a Navy Curtiss NC4. That was kind of a cool one. It was like a huge flying boat. And we have a Tarrant Tabor, Great Britain. And this one, you're probably wondering if this is real. Yes, this is real. They only built one of them. Caproni built it. This is a CA-60. Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, it had like 3 sets of wings. I'm not even sure how this thing even flew. It was a float plane. They only built one of them. So, there you guys have it. Those were the main first, airliners, and civilian airplanes. I will do a video on those, other home-built, early airplanes that were very interesting. And if you haven't seen the movie, Those Magnificent Men and Their Flying Machines, I recommend that you, go, check it out, because it's pretty cool. If you haven't subscribed to me yet, please consider doing it. At least consider it, because when you do subscribe, it was greatly appreciated by me. I might not show it, but don't worry, it is definitely greatly appreciated by me. And I want to give a shout out to my friend Jackson Seacrest. He didn't have a YouTube channel, but I just wanted to give a shout out to him for sharing one of my videos. But anyway, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Hit that notification button to get notified the second I post a new video. And I'll see you in the next video.